What's going on, YouTuberites? It's your boy Rocket here, and I'd like to welcome you guys to another episode of Rocket Rants. Excuse me, one quick second. Whee! Anyway, sorry about that. Just moved the chair a little bit so you wouldn't hear the noise. Anyways, today's episode of Rocket Rants is going to be about Fallout 76 and all the hate that it has been getting and whether or not that hate is warranted or not. Now, before we even begin, I'd like to apologize if I sound a little bit sick. I think I'm starting to get a cold. It's really going to start. It's really going to be annoying for the next few days for me. But anyways, I apologize if I do sound sick. I'm trying my best to beat out of it. Been drinking a lot of orange juice, been breathing a lot of sunlight, breathing a lot of air, getting outside, getting fresh air, all that stuff. But anyways, we're back on. Let's get back onto the video. Fallout 76. Boy, oh boy. This game has been one of the most controversial games, and in many people's eyes, one of the most disappointing games of 2018. This game is current, and right now, not a lot of reviews are out for the game, but the reviews that are out are pretty bad. Pretty bad. Like, pretty bad doesn't even describe it, because to be honest with you guys, one of the review scores I remember reading was like the game got, like, according to users, the game's at like a 2 out of 10. No joke. On Metacritic, I believe it's like 4 point something out of 10. But man, that's bad. And to be honest with you guys, in my opinion, as a Fallout fan, a big Bethesda fan too, I love Bethesda games and I love Fallout. I still, to this day, think Fallout 4 should have been Game of the Year. But, yeah, like, I can't defend this game, you guys. Like, I'm trying my best to find positives in this game to defend it with, but there is none. Like, for every one positive I come up with in my head, I come up with about, like, 6 negatives. And each of the negatives alone are worth more than the positive that I come up with the game. To be honest, to give you guys my full honest review, I enjoy the game. Opinion. I enjoy the game for what it's worth, because I'm the kind of guy, when I buy a game, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing in the game, and I want to make sure that the things that I want to do in the game are the things that I can do. And in this game, for the most part, what I want to do is have an online Fallout game that I can play with friends. And for the most part, yeah, once again, I can do that. I can play this game with friends, and I enjoy it because me and my friends are out there, we're shooting down super mutants, collecting loot, grabbing power armor, and all that stuff. The story, there's a lot of negatives. We'll get onto that, but otherwise, that's pretty much what I expect out of this game. And for the most part, I enjoy that aspect. But almost everything else about this game, pretty much is terrible. Like, there's no story. The story that they have doesn't make any sense. There's barely any story, practically none. There's no story. The game is a big buggy mess, which is something that I expect from Fallout titles. But in terms of this being an online game, it's pretty bad. Even for a Bethesda title, it's pretty bad. They released a patch a while ago that got rid of some of them, but not all of them. They got a lot of work ahead of them for that. And like I said, man, a lot of people have been giving this game flack. There are, like, and to be honest with you guys, even though I enjoy the game, I don't see necessarily that I do not see the point. Meaning that I do see their point. I see all the anger, and I agree with them on that anger. If it sounds hypocritical, I apologize. But I personally like the game for the reasons that I just explained. But there's a lot of negatives, and there's a lot of people that's hating on it. And to be quite honest with you, Bethesda needs this. Bethesda needs this because they need to understand that what they are offering people is not a $60 game. I didn't buy this game for $60. Thank God, because I was able to get my hands on this game due to connections. I know my way around. I know my way around. Anyways, but other people who pay $60 for this game, I can understand why you're pissed off at this game, because it does not. This game, in my honest opinion, is $20 or $25 Fallout 4 DLC, because it does not feel like a brand new Fallout game in the slightest. Like, oh my God, it's not a $60 game. I understand where some of the hate. There's a lot of people who hate on this game for just to hate on the game, and to be honest with you guys, I don't agree with that. But I do agree, when you're paying $60 for a game, you're expecting $60 worth of content out of it. And in this game, you're not really getting $60 worth of content. What you're getting is an online game that you can play with friends, and they give you big old fetch quests. That's not a proper game. Really, it's not a proper game. If anything, Bethesda deserves the hate on account of the fact that they really haven't told us a lot about what this game's going to be about. what they've been telling us is that this is a game you can play with friends, and that's all they keep saying. They don't talk a lot about the story. They don't talk a lot about the online components, about the PvP and all that stuff. And to be honest with you, I don't really care about that stuff because I don't do PvP in Fallout. Why would I do PvP in Fallout? There's no point. But yeah, like that they talk about the PvP and they talking about playing with friends, and that's about it. And then they also try introducing us to the creatures and stuff. The creatures are cool. Don't get me wrong, but that's basically like 20% of the game right there is about the creatures and the online, and the rest of the game is what everybody else hates: the story, the bugs, the crashes, the glitches, the lack of care in the game, the frame rate. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of problems with this game, and I can see where all the problems are, and I understand that this is where all the problems are. Now, here's my problem, but here's the thing. Here's my problem with all the hate. The very same people who are currently hating on the game right now do not have the right to. You do not have. If you're hating on the game for the fact that you're hating on the game, do not jump on the bandwagon when this game suddenly becomes game of the year, thanks to an update. If you guys remember No Man's Sky, a game that I personally loved the day that it came out, because I'm one of the to this day I'm still one of the only people who will defend that game no matter what from day one till now. That game was heavily criticized by people because due to many reasons, including the lack of content, no story, and the fact that what people were expecting was a space game where you could battle space pirates and all that junk. When they've been marketed, in my personal opinion, when I watched the trailers, all I've been seeing was a space exploration game. You're literally a guy going from planet to planet and looking at species, creating new species with your name. You get to name your own species, name your own plants, name your own planets, and all that. That's what I saw when I got the game, and that's exactly why I still defend the game to this day. But everybody shitted on the game when it came out. No Man's Sky next update comes out this year. Keep in mind, the game came out all the way in 2016. The update comes out this year, and people are praising it as as the game basically being redeemed. The game that people should have gotten at launch. When I'm sitting here, I've known this game was good. I always enjoyed the game, and now I'm seeing all the people who are now riding on the bandwagon. Screw you guys, first of all. Second of all, don't do the same thing with Fallout 76. I do believe Bethesda might do an update like that, because even Bethesda can't ignore all the hate the game is getting right now. Even they can't. As big as they are, they cannot ignore the hate, because this game is getting hated so badly right now that I imagine that this game is definitely going to be worst game of the year without a doubt. They can't ignore it. But if you guys are expecting an update like that to happen anytime soon, don't. This is the game that's going to be keeping us busy while they make Fallout 76, Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6. So until those two games come out, this is going to be the big Bethesda title, because games like Wolfenstein, Rage 2, and others, they're nice, but they're not mainstream like Fallout is. So don't expect that update for like a year or two. I expect around 2020, 2021 is going to be the time when we get a big update like that. Unless Bethesda can surprise me, because they're a bigger studio than Hello Games are. They're a much bigger studio. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They can fix this game. This game can be fixed. In my opinion, the game can be fixed. But it's going to be a lot of work. A lot of work, man. Fallout 76 is my personal opinion. If I were to give it a rating out of 10, I have to give this game a 4.0 out of 10. Because the reason why it's getting a 4.0 is because the aspects of the game that I expected when I played this game are aspects that I enjoy of the game. I'm not going to say that they're great, but I enjoy them. But this is the kind of game that if I play it for 3 hours, I get bored in 1.5 hours. And that's no joke. Like, I literally have to force myself to play for another 1.5 hours, and that's unacceptable. I should be playing a game to enjoy it. I should be playing the game and loving every single second of it. But this is the kind of game that I enjoy the things that I do, but I can't stay on this game for longer than about 1.5 hours. Bethesda, fix your game, man, because you know you have to do it. Anyways, that's it for the video, you guys. I thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like on the video. Help your boy out with the likes. Subscribe to your boy's channel, and also give me your opinions about Fallout 76 if you can. Also, if I didn't say it in the beginning, I will be streaming tonight on YouTube. So, watch out for that. but watch out for that. I'm probably going to be playing Red Dead again. But anyways, yeah, like, that's about it for the video, you guys. So I thank you guys very much for watching. I have been your faithful Captain Rocket, trying to currently power through this cold right now, and I will see you guys later on the next